Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, kia ora. Okay, Tony Gibson here, giving you a little feedback about leadership. So what your end goal is, you've been away on a trip, you have experienced multiple outdoor education contexts, and throughout that you were doing some leadership strategies. And you were hoping to have a positive impact on the group, okay? And from those experiences you were reflecting each day at camp on what went well and what you potentially could do differently the next day, all right? An example of that was, for example, if you were communicating to a group, you might have said, I use good, loud, clear voice. However, next time I would bring them closer to me. So we've got proximity, okay, we're using proximity. That's an example of a reflection at camp. What you are doing now is taking all of that good stuff that you did at camp in terms of your experience and your reflection, and you're just formalising it into an assessment piece. The assessment piece can either be written, it could be a verbal, live or recorded, or you could do a video. And I say video because you've got all of the photos now that you could put into, say, an iMovie and talk over the top of it. Okay, so for example, you might show the Spiders Web one, and Paige might be saying, this is where I was doing a leadership strategy of, this photo shows, what I was trying to achieve was this, the positives of that was this, there were some negatives and they were this, so I changed it a little bit by doing this, and next time if I was to do it in another camp, I would recommend to myself or anybody else that you do it this way. So what she would do there, she's done that on a video, perhaps, and she's gone what she was doing, how she was, and why she was doing it, and then the so what was the positives, negatives, any changes, and what she'd do differently next time. Either way, what you're going to do is you're going to do two processes of what, how, why, and so what, and you are going to do one for one leadership strategy and another for another, okay? I suggest there'll be a lot of communication ones done. I hope you would do that because there was a lot of times that you were communicating. And I would suggest you look at the style of leadership you used, say democratic versus autocratic. All right? Okay, cool. All right, so that is the assessment. All right? Now, you'd whack an introduction and a conclusion on there, and that's how you do that is in the booklet. But what I want you to do is to turn to that page in the middle there to look at your plan template. Okay, so what I want you to do now is I want you to look at these questions and think about, by the end of today, and start, what two leadership strategies am I going to choose? Okay, and I will go around and have a discussion with you about that. The other points that is really important to keep in mind is that when you are talking about the effect, either positive or negative, of your strategy, you are talking about how it affected the group, not just you, or not just one person, but the group. You might talk about how it affected you and one person, but ultimately you must still refer to the group. And you must show somewhere in your writing or your assessment how you changed your leadership strategy during the camp, okay? Because you must show reflection, what we call in action. So what that means is you're reflecting while it's happening at camp, and you're changing and you're adapting. And post action, which is what you're doing now, you're reflecting back on the whole experience, all right? So for example, if I put it into a sporting example, if I'm playing football and I'm in the middle of the game and I make a pass and I realise I should have chipped it rather than passed it along the ground because that person's short that's defending, then I go, okay, next time I make that pass in the game, the same game, I chip, that shows that I have made a reflection in action. A reflection post-action would be when I watch the game video after the game and I realise that I've made that mistake repeatedly and I change it for the next game. Does that make sense? Okay.
I
Someone say no? Yes? No?
said I.
Aye. Okay, cool. Alright, so before I stop the video, is there any part-time? Okay. So, what we're going to do now